Good morning, everybody. So, Honorable Mayor Marco Boradori, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, in the name of the association ATED ICT Ticino, its president Ennio Bernardi, and the whole steering committee, I am pleased to welcome you to the 5th edition of Voxxed Day Ticino. Our special thanks to the city of Lugano, dear Marco, for the support, for the prestigious location we can use today, and special thanks to all sponsors that for the important contribution, and of course thanks to all speakers that give us the necessary content that we can present today, a very interesting event. In fact, you are the protagonists of today, but also thanks to Cristina, to Anastasia, and to Federico, all other people that invested a huge effort to make this event possible today. Our association, ATED ICT Ticino, is firmly convinced that about the importance to have such events in Ticino. Voxxed Days is one example of occurrence that must be present in Ticino, so as in other regions of Switzerland. In our role as the ICT Association, we have the duty to do all the necessary effort to assure that the ICT scene has a significant presence in Ticino, that we can facilitate the interaction between technology, knowledge, innovation with the institutions, with the local economy, and of course with everybody that is interested in this area. And finally, that it takes place here with our people, for our people. For this reason, we are very proud that Voxxed Days goes on as one of our main projects of ATED ICT Ticino with success. With the success you are giving us being here with us today. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. So, having said that, you almost know that this event wouldn't be possible without the dream of two enterprising guys, Celestino Bellone and Federico Yankelevich. I would like now to have on stage. Please, Federico.
Posto Celestino. Grazie. No, non ero verificato. Grazie, grazie Cancelli. I just take some words.
Please.
Thank you very much, Daniele.
The stage is yours.
Thank you very much. My name from Anastasia.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you for being with us again for the 5th edition of Voxxed Days Ticino. And like Daniele mentioned, what is always nice to remind is the origins. We were two senior developers at Swisspost, and we were trying to have fun, to improve our work. We were always very passionate. We were sharing our knowledge at meetups. And one day, the company couldn't afford to send us to a conference because the budget was assigned to others, and we said, we have to do it anyhow. We pay ourselves and we go to Devox UK. As you can see in the picture, we had a lot of fun. I still remember those days, and I think I'm sure also Celestino. And when we came back, we said, hey, come on, we have to share this experience with everybody else in Ticino. We know the community is great and big. We want to give it back. We were lucky enough to have a nice friend that was already a popular speaker worldwide, Mario Fusco. He's with us again this year. He's now organizing Voxxed Days Milano in the springtime too, so he helped us a lot since the beginning. This is the original picture of the 2015. The camera was not so good at that time. And I mean, it was really exciting for us to do that and to show that, yes, in Ticino we have a lot of developers that really are interested in this topic. And from that time we have done 5 editions. This is the 5th one. And I would like to start with you making a question. If you can join us at slido.com on your mobile phone, you could vote on this, and we can hear from your feedbacks. How many times have you been with us? Here you see the voting live. That should change while somebody votes, so please. So a lot of newcomers, seems, or they are the younger are the faster to vote, probably. That's also possible. A lot of people coming 5 times already, so they are the loyal ones. And anyhow, we are collecting all these votes, so please go on. We give you a few more seconds. Okay, so really a lot of people, new ones. Welcome to Voxxed Days Ticino for your first time. Thank you very much for coming. Okay, I go to the next slide. Thank you for your votes. So everybody immediately understood we were doing this for passion. There was no business plan behind that. And we had one simple rule. The rule was content. We want to have the opportunity to choose the content ourselves with our friends, to know what is important. We know what is important for our peers, other developers, and we gain the trust from the developers. And developers sometimes, they are weird. It's not very easy to get them to trust you or get us to trust everybody else. What happened is that developers from other areas in Switzerland came to us and say, hey, why do you have this event in Ticino and not in the rest of Switzerland? And since that day, we have been organizing Voxxed Day Zurich and Voxxed Day CERN too. So in Switzerland, we are the only country, if I'm not wrong, right, Mark, with 3 events. There is another one? Ah, okay. I thought it. Thank you. So, and the other question is, considering cannibalization, how many of you have you also been to Voxxed Day Zurich or CERN? Please vote. Or no one. The other option is no one. I forgot to put. Okay, but we have. Yeah, I forgot one vote. I thought everybody should have come to another event, at least. Okay, so let's move on because the vote is now is. And what is important now? We have here with us the mayor of Lugano, and why it is important to have these type of events in Ticino. This was a question that everybody made since the beginning, because the IT sector is growing also in Ticino. We always have more developers in the area, because we need to give to the local people access to the great content, to experts, where they can make the question, meet them, and grow some relation. And networking with local peers like we do at meetups, but in a big scale, that's also important. And what is important is, because in this way we save money. If all the companies in Ticino should send abroad all their developers to attend to conferences, that would cost travel, living, days away from the family. If you can go close to your house, it's much easier. And you meet your friends from Ticino also, that's good. And obviously, this also means that we pollute less, because there are less travels around the world, so save the planet. And the other point is about ATED.
Yes, now, Voxxed Days Ticino has been organized since the first event by Exteso. It has recently been passed over to ATED for a reason. So ATED has a great expertise in organizing events. We organize about 30 events throughout the year, so we're used to it. We're used to the hassle. So that's why it was passed over. When did that happen? It happened during an ATED for Kids activity. So that's a section in our association where we organize workshops and events and activities for kids. ATED was able to prove to Exteso that it was ready and that it was reliable for organizing this event, so that's why it was passed over. There is no discontinuing with the past, meaning that Exteso is responsible for the content. It is responsible for organizing the program committees. And now through this 4th and 5th edition, we have been able to share a lot of information, learn a lot from each other, and give back to each other a lot. So the objective would be also for the next editions to keep giving back to each other in this way.
Thank you, Anastasia. So anyhow, the point for us has always been fun, organized with passion, volunteers and everything. We demonstrated that in 5 years, a lot of developers from Ticino area took 1 day off from the family. It has always been on a Saturday, and spend that day here to learn something because you really trust us. So this for us is great, it's amazing as always, because we know how important it is to spend time with the family, and you should give that priority for sure. And I think, or we think, also your employer should be proud of you all that you spent 1 day, 1 Saturday here to learn something that you then apply on the job. With ATED, we think that it's time to make the next step and to go from fun to serious with this conference. And that's why the next edition, the 6th edition next year, will be organized on a Friday. We hope all of you will join us also on that day. I've already heard some worries about sponsor managers that will lose 1 working day. We know that it's true, but that's an important message also, because we are serious and we are working. We are not just here for fun. So maybe another question, take out your phone please, and help us understand what is your feeling. Do you think your company would be willing to send you on a Friday to Voxxed Days Ticino? Do you doubt? Do you have any worries? I'm worried about the results. Okay, the no is not so big. That's already good. Thank you very much.
No.
Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. We hope that that's true. And if you have any problem with your company, please let us know. We will try to convince them and help them to understand that it's really serious business. We are not here for fun. So it's fun, but not just for fun. Thank you very much. Now I would like to welcome the Mayor of Lugano, Marco Boradori. Thank you very much for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here.
Buongiorno a tutti, ladies and... Ecco, meglio così, Buongiorno a tutti, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for your presence. I will try to answer to the question why is so important for Ticino and Lugano this day. I hope that an answer will be, can I say, will be convincing you. But first, I would greet you, and I would thank Celestino, Federico, Daniele, Cristina, and Anastasia. Thank you very much for what you did and what you are doing and what you will do. On behalf of the city of Lugano, I am very pleased to welcome you all to this Voxxed Day, an event which is set to make a great contribution to the debate on digital trends. This is an area which is becoming one of the keystones underpinning Lugano's future development. The municipality of Lugano has decided to base the guidelines governing the city's growth on a process of digitalization, something which is of paramount importance in order to manage change. Change comes about through a network of all the local players working together to make a significant impact in institutions, universities, research centers, companies, and so on. Events such as this one, or the Digital Day, which on the 3rd of September brought together hundreds of people in Piazza della Riforma in Lugano, or the Visionary Day on 28th of September, are priceless as they provide the opportunity for a beneficial exchange of views and knowledge. The city has also decided to promote Lugano Living Lab in order to bring together on a single platform all the projects and players operating in the area of digital and technological innovation. This lab provides an operational platform dedicated to innovation, making it possible to test, grow, and apply the strategic directions envisaged by the city's development policies. Interconnection between the players will allow us to accelerate innovation and to create products, services, and new governance models. It will also pave the way for a laboratory city comprising multiple experience catalyzers, united by an open spirit of innovation. Your programmers are currently and will increasingly become key partners in the construction of this future in which the web, machine learning, Java and artificial intelligence, all areas you are set to cover today, will be increasingly present and indispensable. Nevertheless, it is crucial that all of us, including politicians and experts from the IT and digital sectors, bear in mind that our goal and the direction in which we should be heading is development and growth, provided that this is centered on quality of life and the well-being of people and citizens. I wish to thank the organizer for the high level of commitment shown in the preparation of this Voxxed Day, and I trust that all of you will find it of great interest, allowing you to discover many new things and helping to broaden your vision and technology. I hope that you understand that we are very happy that you are there, because you are important for our goal, you are important for a goal of all the society, and so thank you very much that you are in Lugano. Grazie.
Now, out of the 306 participants that we have this year, we are very happy to see that we have 77% from Ticino, 10.5% from Italy, 6% from the rest of Switzerland, and 6.5% from other countries. Last year, the statistics were a little bit more colorful, meaning we had a little bit more maybe from the rest of Switzerland, but we are equally as satisfied to see the statistics because it shows how the event is brought to you by Ticino for Ticino. Consequently, 22% of you guys have not chosen Italian as your main language, 78% have. An interesting thing we were able to fish out from the statistics today was 71% of you guys are actually already at the ICT Ticino Associates. 29% of you aren't, so if you're interested, please come and find us later. Me, Cristina, Federico, we can chat. Very interesting thing is last year we had 12% female presence. This year it's 13, so we are happy to see there's a slight increase. We're hoping it will get better from year to year. Now, out of the 29 speakers that we have here, we have a couple from Ticino, a couple from the rest of Switzerland, 30% from Italy, and other countries to mention would be Poland, Netherlands, Ukraine, Österreich, why did I say that in German? Anyway, France, Germany, etc. So that's nice. 50% of the talks are in English, 50% in Italian. There is only one female speaker this year, but she is great, so sure you'll forgive us. Now, this would have not happened without our sponsors, of course. The quality would not be what it is today. So special thanks goes to DOS Group, Swiss IT Solutions, and HP, technical sponsor. They've been with us since last year, so that is great. Thank you so much for being with us. Special thanks goes to the sponsors that have sticked with us since the first edition. WellD, Last Minute, Swiss Post, Ex Machina. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone else that have joined.
Thank you very much.
Your privacy is very important to us, so we are not giving any data to anyone unless you don't want us to. So, that being said, we do encourage you to go downstairs, chat with the sponsors, and if you would like, you can show the QR code on your badge so that they can collect your data. Now, to bring a high-quality event with global knowledge right next to your office has been the main goal for Voxxed Ticino. Another goal was also to sell as many tickets as possible to every company so that the cost is reduced for every ticket. Special compliments go to those companies that have acknowledged and that have seen how valuable Voxxed Ticino is. So thank you so much. Compliments.
Well done, guys.
All right.
And we really need to thank also the speakers. I mean, we are really proud of our speakers. We have selected them carefully. We received more than 100 submissions also this year for Ticino. We had only 24 plus 6 slots, so the selection process was very hard. We left out also great speakers, but we are sure those that have been chosen, they really have something that is interesting for all of you to listen. So enjoy the talks of all of them, and thank you again to the speakers. We go quickly to the program committee guys. These are the 12 people that participate to the selection process. You have to thank them all. And the volunteers of today, you see the picture we just made this morning. Without them, it would be very, very difficult to organize everything. So thank you very much. Huge team. We are late, but I know that I can take some minutes from Chris' talk and go on with our presentation. So in Switzerland, we had the 3 events, more than 1,200 attendees, mostly Swiss sponsors. More than 30% speakers are working in Switzerland, also 40%. It's really a Swiss-made conference and with a lot of love. That's, I think everybody can immediately see that.
A couple of practical things. Please use the VDT19 Wi-Fi, and the password is Voxxed19. Everything's written on your badge, okay? All sessions, so if you're not sure which session to go to, and you're like, oh, I might miss something. No, everything is going to be recorded, and everything will be on YouTube in a week. So after the keynote, we please invite you to enjoy your coffee break downstairs. We need everyone to leave the room so we can separate the 2 rooms, okay? And please don't leave anything in the room if possible. Now, lunch will be in 2 rounds, so you can organize which keynote you'd like to go to. Quickies, to which quickie you'd like to go to. First lunch is at 1 o'clock, and the second lunch is at 1:30. Then beers and more will be at 6 o'clock downstairs in the sponsor area, where there'll be some prizes as well.
Your feedback, as usual, you can use the voting app to vote the talks directly, and the speakers will get the vote. Use the hashtag, let us know on Twitter and on any other social media, and then the feedback form, please fill it after the conference. We will send it to you. Now, sorry again, Chris. We wanted to add one more thing to this presentation, because I'm very lucky from my position. I have a nice work in a big company like Swiss Post, and organizing this type of conferences, I get a lot of contact with the other companies, enterprises. And my opinion is a little bit biased, probably. And I would like to ask, first of all, that we know each other a little bit more. What's your role in the IT sector? How many of you are developers? How many of you are doing something else? And because these make, for us, is an important information about the attendees, obviously, then we will collect to improve. Okay, that's more or less what we expected. 80% and more are developers. There are a few managers. Thank you for joining us. You will find some content interesting also for you. And marketing designers. We don't have any designer. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you, though. This is more or less what we expected. Why is it important? Because we just wanted to think about how is our industry doing. Are we doing great? Yes, it seems. But we should probably do something. Because in our industry, the stress level is very high. I mean, we perceive that the expectations are really growing in any direction, in every area. You need to be faster. You need to know everything from day one. You need to maintain code written by others. You need to automate everything. You need to be sure and everything is secure. It's your responsibility to make an accessible application. Obviously, you need to help the junior members to be on board in your team. So the expectations for developers are really high and crazy. And the complexity is also growing. microservices, multiple modules of the application that need to speak together, multiple teams that need to collaborate. It's really huge effort that everybody's expecting from the developers. And this is something that we all perceived, and we found our nice green tree in the open source, in the community. We share the knowledge, we learn from each other. We do a lot of efforts, and we are lucky that with this open source model, all the companies can easily benefit and build on top of that. This simplifies our life. We don't have to do all the low-level stuff. It requires some efforts on our side, but it really, I would say, that is making our life sustainable. Otherwise, it would be really too complex. So, and I would like to ask you, how is, if your software is using any open source library in production? And let's, oops, I lost the focus. Oh, why not? No, it's not working. I don't know why. Oh. Okay, sorry, this is not working. I would say 100%. Okay, thank you. So 100% of the software, thank you for voting, are using, we know that, open source libraries inside, and we enjoy that, and that really helps us a lot. But the current model is fragile. I hope it works now. No. But, let me start the presentation again. Doesn't want to start. It was working. Okay. But anyhow, I will answer for this question. And does your company contribute in any way? And mostly, the answer is always no, we cannot do a lot. I do it on my free time. And this is the problem we are trying to think about. So it's really a difficult topic to discuss. There are comics about this topic. If you try to recommend to pay a maintainers, you're thrown away of the window. And what I would like to share with you is an idea that we may easily find some improvements, playing with the rule of the companies and helping the companies to just slightly calculate the costs differently and get some benefits. So one of the ideas is we always pay software licenses easily, not obviously for open source. And we would like to recommend companies that have a lot of budget planned for software license to just plan what they can afford for software, open source software, to plan that in the budget at the beginning of the year, and let the developers during the year choose which of the open source projects they use deserve to get a little bit of this money, so that the real developers knows the truth and use this budget that is planned by the management, and then every year to reconsider this. This is one idea. Another idea is training. There is always budget for training in all the companies. We need to be trained, we need to learn. The number of skills that are expected by us are amazing. We really need to be artists and technicians at the same time. One idea is let your employees to participate to open source projects. They learn a lot. They learn human and technical skills. They learn new methodologies, because open source requires efficient methodologies to survive. And then all this knowledge is easily comes back to your company, and we all win. So a form of training is give time for the open source project, during the week maybe. The third one is a commodity as an open source. So release what you do as a commodity software that is not your core business, but is needed to run your software. Release it as open source, empower your developers, let them try to create a community and to see what does it mean to really do that. Give a time box, obviously, time, otherwise the developer will have so much fun, will work 24 hours per day. And what we see when it happens, we tried that at the Swiss Post in small points, the quality will increase also. So the developer that exposes himself to the public will try to work better than other developer or when working internally in the home. And maybe a community will grow, or The other example is it may become really a business. The example of Celestino, he started working on an open source reservation system for the conference here, and it grew up, and it was so nice that he now found customers willing to pay for the service, and now is, since 1 month, working full-time on his own company that started as a dream. So thank you, Celestino. And compliments, we are all proud of you. The last point, and then we go, it's we can also try to make a greener software. So think about that. When you write software, when you take architectural decision, you can minimize network call, you can maximize the battery on your devices, and a lot of things have an impact. Think about that. You write the code, you can really do something. So developers really have great opportunities. You can improve yourself, you can work in a team, you can save the planet, you can share your knowledge. Somebody says that you can achieve immortality with that. But for sure, it's a great time to be a developer. So really, guys, enjoy that and continue on that. Thank you very much for being with us.
Now, without further ado, all the way from the US, we would like to welcome Chris Tallinger for his keynote. So, round of applause.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.